This video is about negative reinforcement. It's not the best principle for influencing behavior. Even so, many of us still use it in a lot of situations. Negative reinforcement is when something is removed as a consequence of behavior and increases the likelihood for the behavior in the future. The word negative can easily give us the impression that it's about something bad. But in this case, that's not correct. So let's strike that so there's no confusion. Instead, in this case, negative means to subtract something, like in math. Let's take an example. Actually the same example I used in the previous video about positive reinforcement, but this time from the team's perspective. The manager sees things that needs to get done and starts to complain at the team. The team starts to do the things that the manager is complaining about. And as a consequence, the manager stops complaining. So what happens in this situation? The team gets negatively reinforced for doing the things that the manager complains about, and the likelihood for them doing the things that the manager complains about in the future increases. Let's try with one more example of negative reinforcement. Here we have a person working as an administrator for different tasks. Every day starts with a pile of assignments to process during the day. When the person processes the assignments, the pile is removed. Same here, assignments being removed works as a negative reinforcement for the behavior to process assignments. Both examples means that something is removed from the situation, like subtraction in math, but the likelihood for the behavior increases, and that's why we still use the word reinforcement. Well, this seems like an efficient principle, one might think. But is it really? If we look at the first example, you must know that very few people appreciate when someone complains at you all day. And in the long term, you will probably find another way to avoid the complaining than to actually do what the person is complaining about. And most managers doesn't enjoy complaining at their team and probably have other tasks as well to conduct during the day that will suffer from this very time-consuming leadership principle. I call it painful side effects for negative reinforcement. The team will get unhappy, the initiative from the team will be reduced, people will start to avoid work, everyone will get tired and feel stressed, and eventually people may get sick or resign. If we look at the other example, there is also a risk that the workflow will be higher than the pace for the administrator, and that means that no matter how fast he or she works, the pile of assignments will not diminish, but instead increase. As a manager in this situation, you will get a big challenge in maintaining the team's motivation. So here's a couple of suggestions on how you can change from negative reinforcement to positive reinforcement by thinking about what can be added in each situation instead of what could be subtracted. If you have complex tasks, you can make sure that you get help during the process so you can see yourself succeed. When you succeeded with something, you can get to present the results to members of senior management to get encouragement and feedback. You can also make sure that people work in teams, so that the members of the team can encourage and give feedback to each other. And when it comes to the never-ending pile of assignments, the manager can overlook the waiting assignments by him or herself, or appoint someone in the team whose job it is to prioritize between the assignments, so that the only feedback the personnel will get is on how many assignments he or she has accomplished and not how many that is left. And in this way, we have managed to shift from negative reinforcement to positive reinforcement.